shop local.
The purpose of our group is to connect small business owners with the Las Vegas locals while creating a network of like-minded professionals to share strategies and support within an online community.
Our mission is to encourage you to get out and go shop local.
Hey, Go Shop Local. My name's Maxine Ross, and I'm with Ben Burkhalter. And today we're with Darlene Dalmaceda, who is the owner of Vegas Fine Pens and Gifts. Hi, Darlene. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you doing today, Maxine?
Doing good.
Hi, Darlene.
Hey. So, Darlene,
Hey,
Darlene, can you tell us a little bit about your business, Vegas Fine Pens and Gifts?
Yeah, it's a fine pen, stationery, and unique gift business that's online. And I have all kinds of unique pen goodies and gifts and stationery. I've tried to find vendors that you can't really find that easily or anywhere else. So I'm targeting people who like something a little spicy, something that has some color, some flair, some pizzazz. So it's definitely not traditional. It's not boring. It definitely got a lot of cool and exciting things to offer my customers.
Well, you heard at Go Shop Local today, we have the Pen Authority. So we're going to talk a little bit about her business, and let's get started.
The pen market obviously is a unique market, but it's definitely probably falls into, it's a tool that writers and different people use. So can you tell us a little bit about, what made you, how was the idea, and where did the idea come from for you to start a pen company? Do you have any type of writing background, or, kind of maybe tell us a little bit about the pen market, because it seems like maybe it's a little bit bigger than, just going to the corner store and buying a pack of pens.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've always loved writing since I was 9 years old, because my fourth grade teacher was, she was very much into writing, and this was the days, but I know I don't look that old, but this was in the days before the internet was even a thought. So I used to write letters to pen pals. I used to write notes to my fellow students in class. And I've always loved writing. I used to keep a diary, so yeah, I just decided to make that my business later on when I was in school, even though I started out as a web design major, and now, I'm also a filmmaker, but that's like a different thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm always writing all the time. Like, I'm always writing for my job. I'm always like taking notes. I still use writing in my everyday life. And I thought, wow, there are so many people who love writing, journaling, whether it's calligraphy or, whether they just, write notes every day for class or for work. We still write by hand, and we still have to write things down. I don't trust technology 100%. So I write it down so I don't forget about it. So that's what inspired me just to start a business, because I always loved pen and paper. So that just comes from having like an analog childhood and part of my teenage years where I had to write by hand and then the current part of my life, which is digital. But even in a digital world, there's still a purpose for writing by hand. And how much better is it to receive a card or a letter or a note by hand than it is for an email or social media? Even though, those are practical things we use in everyday life, and we need digital technology, because that's the way our world runs, and it's not the same world anymore like it was when I was growing up, or even when you guys were growing up, Right. But yeah, there's still a need for writing by hand, and there's still many people out there that write by hand.
Nice. No, it makes sense. It's just basically kind of like a painter with his paintbrush, a carpenter with his hammer. It's the tool that you use to get the job done. And I know I've worked in, different offices in different places, and sometimes you come across maybe somebody that left that good pen sitting around, and you're used to writing with a big pen or something, and then all of a sudden you get that pen that somebody left behind, and you write a little bit, and you're like, oh, this is this is kind of like butter, and you start writing a little bit more, and then you just hope that maybe nobody's going to come claim this pen, and then you keep it for yourself. So me
Right.
personally, I can attest to how that can definitely make a big difference, and especially if it's your tool that you use on a daily basis. Maxine is, you know, she writes all of our content, and she's a big writer, so she can definitely attest to having the right tools for the right job.
For sure. I still write in cursive. I'm really big about writing in cursive. I had diaries. I've always been really into writing. So I definitely understand having a good pen. I'm weird about my pens, so I get it. I totally get it.
So
Right.
Darlene,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say to follow up on like you were asking about the pen market. Yeah, I mean, like there's still quite a market for fountain pens. Like I like writing with fountain pens because it just forces you to write slower because of how the nib is designed. You know, it's not like a ballpoint or a roller ball where you can just write chicken scratch. You actually have to write more carefully with a fountain pen, especially if you're writing with a fountain pen and you have to actually, fill it like the old fashioned way with fountain pen ink, like they used to back in the day.
Mhm.
It's a little bit of a messy process, but it's fun though. It's fun, like to,
Yeah.
clean your pens and refill them with different colors.
And it is like an art form. I mean, calligraphy is definitely an art form. And it comes in high demand still with like wedding invitations are still all handwritten. A lot of invitations actually are still handwritten. So that's always something that I was
Yeah.
interested in trying was calligraphy, but I don't know if I'd be very good at it. So I haven't
Well,
tried it.
at the same time,
Here.
cursive is almost turning into calligraphy in the schools and stuff
Sure.
because, you know, as Darlene, you were saying, we're going to a digital world now, and a lot of people don't require written things anymore. So I know that they've taken cursive out of the curriculums, and that's just
Yeah.
something that we need to know. And I think to keep it alive, it's going to be an art form, just like calligraphy at some point, unfortunately. So
Right.
Darlene, traditionally, uh, so you have an online store, and it sounds like you're pretty passionate about your pens and your products. It sounds like you probably kind of have what you offer is basically kind of what you would write with and what you would use. For the normal customer that is in the market for these types of pens, traditionally, do they get these pens online, or do they go to box stores to find them? So where do these customers normally find the pens? And then obviously it seems like you're going to have a huge the right market of it. So how do you differentiate your online store to what the traditional way of the customer is looking for the said pen?
Well, what I've found is that people have done both. They either shop from bigger stores, like obviously, Amazon and all these other big box retailers. They also sell like Schneider or Fisher pens, um, or they could go to a place like Fountain Pen Hospital in New York. They have an online business, but they also have a big storefront. They're probably one of the, I guess, one of the bigger mom and pop stores in the country to buy pens, or from the retailers themselves, like Acme Studio. They're based out of Hawaii, and they have a lot of like the kinds of, like, I talk to them, and at some point I will sell their pens as well. But they have like different designers who actually come up with the designs for pens, and they actually make them in their shop in Hawaii. So like they have like a lot of different designers, and then they have like different artists. Like they have pens that were inspired by Andy Warhol, for example, or Jean-Michel Basquiat, or they have limited edition pens. Like they have like a set based on the Beatles or Jimi Hendrix, like things like that. They have pop art pens. Like they have different designs like that.
Like collector
Fountain Pen Hospital
items,
is more
right?
traditional, but huh?
Like collector's items almost. For I mean, like
Yeah,
I'm a big
collector's items.
fan.
Yeah, like they have. I think they like Monteverde. I know that they had like a Walt Disney pen at one point, and they might still do. Um, like and then they have like more inexpensive brands like Schneider, Fisher, Parker, Cross, things like that. So yeah, some either people will go shop at like a place like Fountain Pen Hospital, or they'll go to the vendors themselves. to buy pens, or storefronts. Like years ago, there used to be a place called Paradise Pen, which is out of business now, but they used to go to that place. I'm like, so they have their options. Like customers have their options for different types of stores they want to go to, whether it's a mom and pop type shop or a big box retailer. I would obviously fit into the mom and pop shop, but I actually did this business about 5 or 6 years ago, and I did it for a little while. But when I was in business the first time, I would get a lot of requests from people calling me saying like, hey, I'm trying to find this specific pen. I'm having trouble finding it. Could you help me find it? And I would do my best to find whatever it was that they couldn't find. So I want to try to do that again for people. That's why I have my concierge on my site, saying like, hey, if you can't find what you're looking for, I'll help you find it. That type of thing. I don't think that's something necessarily that other retailers offer. Like I'm trying to differentiate myself from my competition. I'm trying to cater to local and visitors who might need a nice pen. So if somebody's visiting from out of town and they find my site somehow, they find out about it and they need a pen or they need stationery or whatever, I can just go and hand deliver it to them at no charge, for example. Or if you're local, I can meet you at either your place of business or at a public place nearby, and hand you your item without you having to pay for shipping.
No, that's great. We're going to definitely, in the group, we're going to make sure that when we refer to you, it's going to be Darlene the pen lady, because you are very, very knowledgeable, and I'm kind of intrigued with the amount of knowledge I did not know that goes into pens. But just like, wine, I'm sure there's so many different avenues that you can kind of look at it. So for me, and maybe for some of our customers, I'm sure this is the question on everybody's mind. What is the most expensive pen that is out there, and how much does it cost?
Oh, wow. I have seen high-end pens by Montblanc. Like there's a video from a few years ago where it was like $150K for like a diamond encrusted pen. Yeah. Like something like that. Or Loyman Che, that's like a high-end, I'm not sure if they're still in business, but they were a few years ago. One of the guys at the pen shows was talking about these Loyman Che pens that were like 20, 30 grand, for these high-end, like handmade Chinese pens. They were handcrafted out of expensive bamboo or whatever they made them out of. Or like David Oscarson, he's a pen designer, and his pens go into the thousands too, and they use different kinds of materials like gold or diamonds, platinum, whatever he uses on his pens. So yeah. I've met him at the pen shows, and he's been on like different news segments about luxury pens. So yeah, there's a very high-end pen market out there for people who are willing to spend that kind of money. But mine is more for the more affordable, like entry-level market.
Absolutely.
For like I wouldn't have like the most expensive pens like for that I would ever carry would be like no more than maybe $100, maybe $200 at the most.
That's still a lot.
Like that's kind of pushing it, because I know that.
What are
I'm sorry, what?
That's still a lot though. So what functionality do those pens provide? I'm sure that you're selling pens that are for art, you're selling pens for calligraphy, like there's different avenues or different sectors of it. So the ones that are more higher end, what are they used for, I guess is the question I'm asking. Do they have
You mean like luxury pens?
Yeah, or is it more for show? I know that that's a thing too. Like in offices, people will have like fancy pens.
I think it can be, used more for show or collector's pieces. I mean, like if I had a pen that was that expensive, I would not write with it. But obviously it's up to the owner. If they want to write with a really fancy pen and whip it out when they have to sign a high you know, a high end, you know, a high powered, you know, contract of whatever kind.
Sure. That'd be like what I have to use, or like a check, sign in zeros.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? Like I just can't even begin to imagine having that much money to afford that type of pen, but people do. I mean, but you know, it's just not, that's not my clientele. You know, mine is just for like, you know, students or artists or just everyday journal writers. That's the market I'm trying to reach. You know, more of like a younger demographic, because some of my products are really edgy. Like my Knock Knock products, they're based out of LA, and they have these funny products that have like, you know, like why I must have sex with you, or you know, WTF, you know, what the F am I doing, you know, like those kinds of things, you know,
the edgy ones, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Or you know, like they have others too, you know, like they have others with like curse words on it, or funny sayings, and it's just like, yeah, that's going to attract more of like a Gen Z or a millennial audience, you know. Like
Yeah.
I know that's not for like an older person, that's more traditional, that is like your fountain pen hospital type of customer that's going to go for something more traditional, more conservative. Like I'm not conservative at all. I mean, it's Vegas fine pens and gifts. They know if it's coming from Vegas, they know it's going to have an edge.
Sure. I mean,
I'm trying to target a customer that likes that edgy, quirky kind of different kind of stuff in their office. You know what I mean? Like kind of weird, you know,
sure.
a little crazy.
A little crazy is always good.
Yeah, well,
Right?
from a business standpoint, you know, what I can see that you're doing is, and what we've seen success in business these days is the niche breakdown of the market you're in. So obviously your market is writing, and you know, different thing, you know, it can fall into a broad category, but you've kind of broken it down into the individual part, which is the writing, the pen, the utensil. So I think, you know, in that respect, it's clever, because I feel like businesses are really benefiting from kind of taking the broadness of it and kind of specifically catering to this, you know, the individual tools or whatever. So now it's pens, or maybe there's, you know, staplers out there that we don't know about. There's a stapler market, but you know, it's a smart way from a business standpoint to separate yourself from your competition, from the higher end ones, from the people that fall into that umbrella. Definitely interesting. So obviously you've been in this business kind of off and on. What is this business? You left it, you came back. Obviously, you know, maybe there were some other issues, but what does this business offer you as far as you as a business owner that you enjoy about it? Obviously, you've come back to it. And what would be the number one thing that you enjoy that you would, you know, be able to tell other business owners why you're doing this and why you're in this space?
Well, first and foremost, it's my love of writing and meeting other people who love writing as well, and getting to see these amazing artists on TikTok and Instagram, which are the two places that I've gotten the most engagement when I've come back. You know, before it was Facebook and Twitter. Now it's kind of like, it's changed now since 5-6 years ago. Now it's all on Instagram and TikTok. Mm-hmm. That's where I find people engaging with my videos and my pictures, my content the most. So you're just getting to know these new people, getting to see what they're doing and what they're up to and what they're creating. That's probably the best thing about coming back to doing this. And now with the pandemic, a lot of people are spending more time at home than usual, so they have more time to sit down and write or create a piece of art. And I want to reach those people. Because eventually I'm sorry.
No, it's a play on the pandemic, where you can say, well, mm-hmm. We're stuck inside.
Yeah, so now pandemic.
You use it as the pandemic rather than the pandemic.
I like that, pandemic.
Right. Yeah, my friend actually came up with that. He's like, you can put that on your website, join the pandemic.
Yeah, you can get a whole bunch of people kind of joining that, because I mean, we're all stuck at home, you know, in a lot of different places, and you know, even, you know how things go viral, hashtag pandemic, and all of a sudden, you know, you're the start of it. So,
right, exactly.
Well, it's very interesting and kind of your business and what you offer. So thank you definitely for sharing it with us. While we kind of wrap it up, do you have any suggestions for some maybe little stocking stuffers or something that some of our Go Shop Local family can go and check out, and some ideas maybe that you can offer them for the holidays coming up?
Yeah, in addition to the Schneider pens, especially if somebody's curious about writing with a fountain pen, I have an entry level fountain pen called the Vivaz, and it's less than $5. Right now, there's a 15% off regular price sale and free shipping with the code Open 2020. So any of those, like a entry level fountain pen, or the Breeze rollerball pen, like, because it has like a rubberized body, it has a really cool design. There's white, gray, and pink. So I've got like, pink for feminine colors, or more masculine or neutral colors, the gray or the white, or any of or I like the ballpoints, the Slider Memo XB, or the Rave, which are either like, with the cap that you can post, or the click one. So either of those, like any of those for everyday writing, or the entry level fountain pen, or also what's coming up next week, within the next week or two, the Fisher Space Pens. They always make a great gift. They come in all kinds of different colors. They have like all the colors under the sun, basically. Those like are long lasting writers, the refills and the pens will last forever. I have so many customers that swear by Fisher pens and how long lasting they write. And then also our stationery products. You can't go wrong with the Knock Knock stuff. I've got like a photo album for your pets. If you want to buy your pet a gift and put like photos inside, the selfies of your pets, and like show it to your pet. Here, here, show it to your cat or your dog, like, or the bathroom guest book, like if people come over and they want to write in their guest book, about like the visit they paid to your bathroom, some funny novelty like that.
I love it.
Like those are good stocking stuffers. Any of the Knock Knock products, or Ars Antigua, that's a brand that's out of LA, and they have a catalog of over 500,000 vintage images. So right now I'm selling these spiral notebooks that have love, sex, money, and friends on them. When you open it, it has different definitions of translations of those words in different languages. Cool. So those are all made with vellum paper, and they have images of fountain pens in there. So those are really fun. You could buy them individually or as a set. So even with the amount of merchandise that I have, even though it may be small to start with, I still have some really great, unique gift ideas that you can use as stocking stuffers this holiday season.
Awesome.
Well, you heard that, Go Shop Local family. Definitely check out Miss Darlene and the Vegas Pens and Gifts. What can you one more time for the website? What was the website URL?
It's vegaspensgifts.com, and they can add me on any of my social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll add all your handles into the show notes too, so everyone will be able to see it.
Okay.
Thank you, Darlene. We won't keep you any much longer. Like I said, Miss Maxine, if she has anything, she'll reach out to you. But other than that, you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much again, Darlene. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you guys.
All right,
it was great meeting you.
It was great meeting you too.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Absolutely.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching the interview, guys. Be sure to like the group and subscribe to learn more about small businesses like Vegas Fine Pens and Gifts. And remember to get out and go shop local this holiday season. See you guys later.